to
Yeah, greetings. I appreciate all the work you have done. And I believe that your presence in the campaign has given a lot of hope to a lot of people. And for me, security is paramount in the country because a lot of our people are scared and they are leaving the country in droves. And if I look at it historically, we have never been secure in that country. And you used to say that you were going to recruit about 1 million into the police into the military, and I was having a lot of hope because of that a lot more. And I would like to hear more about that because it's very, very important compared to other countries. You know that full well. Compared to Egypt, Singapore, and other countries, Nigeria's defense posture is extremely weak. And this is why we are having the problems we are having in the country today. So I hope this is something that you are going to address because you've said it before, but I would like you to reiterate it so that we know that our defense posture is going to change because this is something we've never had since 1960.
But I told you, I said it before, that if you go to Egypt, they have about 100 million people and have about 1 million police. In fact, in Egypt, they have a special police that is securing the gas infrastructure which they are using in their power generation. They have other forms of police measure. So for me, let's say forward, we have 200 million people, and we have 300 plus police, 300,000. I think it's either 320,000 or thereabout. That is unacceptable. You need to double that number. Same thing is what you need to do in the army, in the navy, in everything. You need to do it and do it as quickly as possible. We have a problem where the police don't have equipment to fight.
Yes.
Equipment to do their work. Even the governor of Katsina said that he has visited police stations where he sees about 10 people, only 5 is armed. So it's our military. I've said we're going to review and restructure the entire security architecture, which includes the personnel and everything. And we're going to do it because security is the first thing to tackle. Exactly. That is what will determine all other things I want to do, or anybody wants to do.
Exactly.
If you don't solve security, then forget it. It is one thing you must deal with before you can tackle it, whether you want to do tourism, whether you want to do manufacturing and everything. Whether you want to fight inflation, the biggest inflation, or the worst inflation we have today, and it's contributing negative to our inflation number, is food. Food inflation today in Nigeria is #1 as a result of insecurity. So if you see that insecurity is everything, we need to deal with that as quickly as possible.
I appreciate that a lot. If you are recruiting, I'm willing to leave the UK to want to come and join the military there because I believe that is fundamental to the country. No, we have to keep our country secure.
It's very, very important. We will do that.
Thank you, sir. And there is they are your massive supporter. They are called Niger Watch. They want you to come and visit them because they are your 100% supporter. They are dedicated to supporting you. They are Niger Watch. Please look out for them. They support you 100%.
Okay, Excellency, there's been a major complaint that women are not coming online, and we cannot go and force them to come online. But good enough, we have a lady here, Neyu Ledoshe. She just put up a question. She says there's an old African proverb that says, if you educate a woman, you educate the nation. This quote indicates the significance of women in our society and how they can positively influence the future generation? How is your administration going to promote women's development and empowerment in order to dismantle the educational, legal, political, and economic barriers that women face in our society?
Well, frankly, I don't think I'm somebody who have worked closely with women and we believe that apart from the North where we have out of school children, where 60% is women and 40% is men, down south, we don't have that problem. What we need is to bring more and more women inclusive. I'm somebody who believes in the contribution of women. I work closely with them. They are more productive. They're more hardworking than men in Nigeria, and they are less corrupt. I've worked with them closely. I was a governor who served with chief of staff as a woman. My permanent secretary government has a woman. Head of service is a woman. Commissioner for local government is a woman. Permanent secretary finance is a woman. Accountant general is a woman. Commissioner for finance is a woman. So I work closely with them. And I can tell you that totally, Commissioner for education, Commissioner for youth and sports. So I've worked with them closely, and I can tell you, they're very, very productive. If they are determined to do anything, they'll do it.
Well, that's good to know. At this point in time, I need to bring a colleague of mine who operates in Abuja there. His name is Chooks the General to join us. Chooks the General, can you quickly come and ask His Excellency your questions? Is right here. Chooks the General.
Good evening, Your Excellency, sir. First of all, I appreciate. No, the way you said the general, please. Okay, first of all, I appreciate Bros AY for the privilege, and I also want to appreciate you, sir, for granting audience to young people on this platform, most importantly. It would have been 3 questions, but because of time, let me just keep it to 1, maybe 1.5, if you allow me. First, just in case I don't have a chance. No. So I don't waste. So I can get the chance next time from Bros AY. Okay, let me do 2 if I have Bros AY's permission. First it would have been okay. Let me say this: since 1999, when I started witnessing democracy, a little bit younger then. I'm just 34 now. I started seeing people come and campaign. It comes with a very interesting wind of hope. You know, you just look like Nigeria is about to change. Vroom, the person will win. We will now be looking for the hope. We will not see it. It just keeps going and going. In fact, there's a particular one that I don't want to be too specific. The country felt like this was it. Everybody was, if you don't vote for that person, everybody was really going that way. It will come again. Vroom. The person will come on seat and we'll be looking for the hope and the success we're all waiting for. So I want to ask a quick question. This is that same wind of hope blowing, and everyone is believing in it. 2 things are. First is, what's different about this particular wind of hope? What's different? What's on the package that is different? That will not look like the other one that sincerely broke my heart, without being too specific. You know, what is different about it? That's my first question. I don't know if it's okay that you get this one first. If I have another chance, I will get to the second.
Yeah, Jara, let me tell you. I agree with you. But there's 2 things I'll tell you. People don't change when they get to power. People don't change because they see money. When people get to office or they're in power, they actually bring out their true character. So don't think that anybody go to the office and change. No. You know a measure of a man when he has power or money. He doesn't have money, can be the most honest man. He doesn't have power, he could be the most humble person. But when you give him small power, if you come back, you'll be wondering whether it's this man that has been condemning those who are in power that is behaving like this.
Yes.
have served the state. And for the day I served them yesterday, I was coming back in Lagos. At the airport, I was coming back with a lady, Aisha Yusuf, and Nanaka, a lady I work with in the bank, Onome, who is the 49th ICANN president, called the two of them aside and said, "You work with this man?" They said, "Yes." Can I ask any of them? Said, "Go and work hard that this man is elected." I was the chief risk officer in Fidelity when we made this man chairman. This was as far back as, I'm talking in 2002, 2003. When we made this man chairman of the bank, and we wrote him a letter saying he's entitled to a Mercedes 500 and a Range Rover. I still have the letter. And he replied us and said, "No." And we wrote him and said, "You are the only bank chairman that is not living in the island, because I live in First Park. And every other person lives in Victoria Island or Ikoyi." And he replied us and said, "If you let us just fix the time of the meeting, if we don't see him there, then we know that wherever he's living is affecting him. I come to a meeting before even those who live in Ikoyi, Victoria Island. If meeting is by 8, I come there, times we stay till 1 a.m. in the night, I go. The next day I'm there before those who live in Ikoyi. In fact, we have somebody who lives on the street of the bank. He has never come there before me." So, office doesn't change people. Neither do money change people. They bring out their true character. That's one. I have served as the governor of Anambra State. Whatever I promised, I said I would do before I entered into office, I did it. I started saying, "You will have office of First Lady. It's illegal. I will return school. I will deal with the issue of health. I will deal with the issue of this. I deal with the..." I can tell you, all of them were fulfilled. Even gone beyond my promise. I didn't promise that I was going to save their money, but I cleared, as at the day that I left, I handed over, General, cleared all the outstanding gratuity and pension of over 35 billion that was accumulated before I came into office. I was not owing a single gratuity. The day I left, I was not owing anybody pension. I was not owing any salary. I was not owing any contractor or supplier who have done their job. And I've said it, if any of them comes out today and say, "I was being owed by B2B for stop campaigning," I thank CFO at least over 5,000 minimum land allocated by Anambra State government to people. If you find one land allocated to me directly or indirectly, I'll stop campaigning. I went and bought my own land to build my own house because I was the custodian of the land. That's why the fact that I was #1 in MDG, the only measure of development. This is not a mark given to me by Nigeria. So they say it was United Nations. If you go and see, comments it to be in his seriousness, like it's being showed now. For MDG, I was #1. Yet, the day I left office, without anybody putting gun in my head, I had $150 million, not naira, in bank for Anambra State. There were 50 million in 3 banks: Fidelity, Access, and Diamond. I have over 30 billion naira without anybody putting gun in my head. For in the same 3 banks, about 10 billion for the Fidelity Bank, for Anambra State, and I have an investment equivalent of 25 billion for the state. Nobody asked me. It was things that I did myself. I wasn't under any pressure. I didn't borrow any, I didn't go to any bank. In fact, the chairman of DMO, the DG of DMO while I was governor, Abraham Nwankwo, in send-off party, made me the chairman of the send-off party. He said the reason why he invited me and made me the chairman of that party, he announced it there, was because I was the only governor in his 10 years of being in DMO that never came to his office to ask that he wants to borrow money. That every other person came. I was the only person. Nobody asked me to. I'm not saying I'm going to change Nigeria overnight. No. The problems are enormous. What I'm saying is that
it's even impossible to change Nigeria overnight.
Where we are now is very simple. We're on the wrong road. If you don't know where you're going, every road will lead you there. So what we're doing now, we get up in the morning, turn right, goes right, turn left. What I want to do is to put it on the right road to development. While I might not achieve 100% result, Nigerians will see 100% effort. And I'll communicate it. I'll be able to come like this and be able to tell Nigerians, this is what we have achieved. That's what we did in Anambra State. I was talking to the people of Anambra once every month to be able to say, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing, this is what we intend to do, so that they can see where we're going. If people are comfortable, what makes a government is that if people know that we're in the right direction, you drive up hope. And once there's hope, people have faith in the country. We go to church today believing we will go to heaven. None of us have seen anybody who went to heaven. But we have hope. And that's the hope is not just having our faith to believe in God. But if we come out tomorrow and they say there's no heaven, then there's no place to go. So everybody's anything you like you do. Because there's no true hope. I want to give Nigerians hope so they can have faith in their country.
His Excellency, His Excellency, you are the one looking for a job, so you have all the stamina and ability to be on this live overnight. I'm not looking for a job.
I don't know, because this time I'm employed, then I'll be happy and stop. That's how to do it. The others can say, oh, we've interviewed you, we're satisfied with you, you got the job, then I can go home.
Well, that's a good point. That's another good point. But we're privileged to have two ladies in our midst. And before we lose them, and before they will now say AY live session with you was all a male affair, I'm privileged to have here two ladies. And I believe they have their questions ready that they are going to be asking. I see. Is that the name?
Allow the ladies to talk.
Madam, I agree.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Onyovo area.
Hey, Onyovo, Mavo Jerry.
Grand level.
Obu and Tori, Omawa Gary.
Ino toto atoiri, mama the verse.
Hey, Mama, Oya, fire down.
Papa, I want verse. Let me para for you.
Papa, I don't know verse. I look for a job.
You dey look for job, so I want para for you because na me be area mama, Madam H.O., the advocates of the youth, the advocates of the teenager, and the advocates of the children. I am a voice of the African child. I'm a voice of the African teenager. I'm a voice of our African youth. Permit me to say, Una thief our destiny. Una can't give us hopelessness. Una can't give up poverty and lack. And because we won't survive, we can't become Yahoo.
Which one? What question are you asking?
No worry, make I finish. I will ask my question.
The person that has come in, or the person that has been there, or the person that is
campaigning
to
come in? Since 1960. Now that they thief us. They can't turn us to Yahoo boys and girls. They turn us to Boko Haram. They turn us to kidnapper. They turn us to all these things where Papa God not create us to be. So, as you want, make we give you jobs. So, Wes, we want to know your plans for us. Because when Boo Boo go to we have for CNN, they ask and say, the youth population is growing. What is your plan for your youth population? You can't begin to tell us about climate change. Now that day my hair scatter say, these people not even get us on the agenda at all. And now, before you come, in 2019, when I wanted to start my charity organization, when I heard it clearly from the Lord that I need to join forces to go and build a new Nigeria, I was asking, where do I start from? But he told me clearly, a new Nigeria is possible. So when in 2022, you got to shout a new Nigeria, I know that I hear from Papa God very well. So my question to you be say, number one, make I first confess one thing, no. I know 100% support you. Yes, now you will be my man. But all my children gravitate to you. And as a good mama, when I be, I support my children anyhow.
Show your children.
But my question be say, when did I not support you first? You tell me, say, I think will be your mentor. How can somebody, when he spend our 16 billion, he pay company 16 billion, they can't give us darkness. You say now your mentor. How can somebody, when he sell night, they sell property for free, and that property collapse? People, when they do work for them, they become jobless and hopeless. You say now your mentor, so you go answer me that question. Then the other one, when I'm not like you, you tell me, say, if you enter office, you not go probe these people when thief everything from us. My question to you, Augusta, when they apply for our job, if Nigeria na your company, you can't give out to people since 1960. They call the manager thief and so that your children can't lose hope for life. You can't get opportunity to collect them back. You say you not go put people in play, make it they collect our money from there. That is one question. Then the other question be say, a senator, House of Rep, governor, only 8 years now that they serve for office. The money when they pay them, it pass money when they put for education. And yet now education now be the future of our children. Where do you go do about that salary? Because everybody must collect minimum wage. No head pass one head. Then how can they spend only 8 years for office? They go come collect pension for life. And yet my papa and mama, when you suffer for 35 years, una know they pay them. Even the peanut one that they pay them for retirement, they go queue up, can't even die in the process. Who does that? So you see this money when they keep them for House of Assembly, when they make them they thief, they do everything to enter into power. We want slash and down to minimum wage. Every allowances, we go put them for police. We go put them for military. We go put them for school. Go look at our school. Children go they sit down for inside water, they go primary school. Is that sellers when you go school? Now so primary school be. Now inside water that they learn. Now inside that they do secondary school. Una can't turn our children to non-entity. Una can't say me they not do yahoo yahoo. If una not change things, I go tell them they do yahoo yahoo the more. In fact, none of una they go come begin they do yahoo yahoo for their house. All of them
the aggression is not needed.
Leave me, my brother.
No, my question. Ask the question now.
Listen, my brother. There's a Chris passing, not the shame.
I'm not ashamed for you.
Alias Hecho, are they shame for Nigeria? You know why? Because we are intelligent. We are smart. Everything where we need to become a great nation, Papa God give unto us. But our case can't be like the woman when they sell wrapper for market. If they come into the come, they wear rack. Now,
can you let him answer the question? Can you let him answer the question? Huh?
I'm making answer.
Okay.
Anyway,
Excellency.
Mama the mama, make you cool down. If I had known, I for don't end. You know, say he said time don't day up. Let me say I did more time. If I don't say Mama they come, I for don't end this thing. Where we want end them? This guy. Let me. I'm sure I for not pass this interview.
Hey, show.
I for not pass this interview. Go. Okay. Mama, make a try small. You have every right to be annoyed. You have every right to be upset. We're all upset. The country has all the potentials of being a very great nation. And it's a great nation. This country have helped South Korea to pay salary. Malaysia is thriving today, but Malaysia once came here to take our palm oil in 2021. Malaysia, despite having a population of less than 50 million, living on about 290-something thousand square kilometers of land, or about 300,000 square kilometers of land, did export about $290 billion, when our own was just about 30. So we're just doing 10% of what they did. That's why I said the country is not productive. It's not productive because over the years, the country has become a case where criminals have taken over. And all they do is to steal whatever it is. And they're stealing it today. That's why I've shouted that those who are stealing our oil are people in government. Those who are stealing our commonwealth are people in government. And that's why we want to stop subsidies, stop everything, and deal with it. I've said we're a failed country because we have not invested in education and everything. What I want to do, and I want Nigerians to trust me, is to stop the stealing. And that's why I gave an example. Using Anambra State, nobody since this campaign started, I've challenged anybody to go to Anambra State where I served as a governor and see whether their money is missing. I've been the only governor who have served a state in Nigeria, apart from Yaradua, I left about 5 billion naira. I left 75, equivalent of 75 billion. Even if anybody wants to doubt, I left in cash $150 million, which you know the equivalent of what it is today. At 600 naira, that is 90 billion. And it has yielded some interest. And at the same time, I left in naira over 30 billion. And nobody put a gun in my head. Every other person who left office the time I left had gratuity or pension. When they brought it for me to sign, it is on record. But I told my speaker, I serve the people of Anambra State by the grace of God. It wasn't my power that I came there. I came by his grace. Whatever I am today, it is by grace of God. It's not by my power. And I will never abuse God's grace. That I'm going home and I can say it to anybody, Anambra State government have not bought me a bottle of water since I left office 9 years ago. It's there. Nobody have paid me one kobo. Every other place, they change their motto, they do anything. So that's why I want to start. I never said I support the thieving. That's what I want to stop, and I'll stop it. What I said is that if you're not stealing, your wife and children are not stealing, those around you are not stealing, you stop it. I serve the bank. You can go and ask the bank. I have never defaulted in any loan. I have never taken their money. I was a director, chairman of Security and Exchange Commission. It's a federal government agency. You can go there and ask them every allowance, everything they paid me, whether it's housing, anything, motor, everything, I did not take it. They're here in Abuja. You can go to them. So I've remained that consistent. And I don't intend to change from it. It's even more critical now. I didn't say I will not probe or jail those who have stolen money. No. What I say and I stand by it, if you close your shop and chasing thieves, by the time you come back, you would have lost what is remaining in the shop because they will expire and you lose customer. I'm a trader. Your shop has to be open and you're getting more customers. And you make sure that you're selling the existing goods and don't spend more time in chasing thieves. Because whatever a thief is stolen, some of it they have spent, there's a likelihood you will not recover everything. I'll be very careful. What I want to stop is stop people from stealing any longer. Look at the government that came in and said they want to chase thieves. People stole more. I want to stop people from stealing any longer and then focus on tomorrow. No matter what you think Nigeria have lost, there's more that you can get for tomorrow. I'm a believer in tomorrow. Those who are consumed by yesterday and today will miss tomorrow. Tomorrow is the only dynamic thing. I want to change Nigeria by doing the right thing. Imagine if the present government have drawn the line, like I always say, and use the resources, including the borrowed resources, to invest in the future. It would have been far better. In 2015, we were owing about 15 trillion. Our per capita is about 2,550. Today, we're owing 75 trillion. Our per capita is 2,000. I would have doubled that by focusing on tomorrow. I want to fix education. I want to fix health. And that is why I said I'm not going to be consumed by tomorrow. So don't close your shop and be chasing thieves. Look at it tomorrow. God did not give us eyes to look back. He gave us eyes to look front. Everything I've learned in my life, whether to drive or to bicycle, they'll tell you, look forward. And I've always looked forward. I don't look back, no matter what happens in the back. As for the person I said is my mentor, it's not a problem. Atiku remains a respected senior brother for the rest of my life. Even if my senior brother has his own fault or anything, he remains my senior brother. And I always respect him because God allowed him to be my senior brother. And I respect that. What I said is that in this business of politics, that I passed through him. If you are apprentice in what we call Igbo type of trading, you learn from too many people who have grouped you up, and when all of them goes, they settle you. You start the same trade and everything. You might not necessarily sell the way they are selling their own. You might be selling differently, you know. So that is where to go. I passed through his hand. I learned things from him. I respect him. I have so many things, and he will remain so. There's one or two other people who I passed through their hand. I learned what they're doing. All combined, I'm selling my own, in my own style. I don't question how they're selling their own. But I remain respectful of their own distance. We're all looking for customers. It depends on who the customer wants to buy. If you want to buy Obidient, here I am to sell it to you. If you want to buy Articulate, he sells it to you. You want to buy a Millicom, he sells it to you. So we have our product with their names clearly spelled. Whichever one you want to buy, it's it. I'm selling my own.
Okay. Omobola.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. It's good to have you here. Thanks so much for being very, very decisive and precise about all the things you plan and you intend to execute once you get into office. So, you've mentioned something severally about the CBN not being our problem, that it's the FX and stuff like that. Well, I studied adult political science from the University of Benin, and it's quite bothering and concerning that, like you said, competence is what we lack, and we need people with passion that are patriotic in the leadership position. But over time, we've had people from every ends of our affair just getting political offices and political positions. So I graduated from school. I didn't wait for the government. I decided to start my own business. So I'm into entrepreneurship, sir. And first thing this year, 2023, that it's my business first. And I'm speaking on behalf of a whole lot of Nigerian youth right now. Was CBN restricting card payments through MasterCard, Visa card? I'm sure I'm not a whole lot of businesses have been suffering from this. And you mentioned CBN is not a problem, but their policies keep on hindering entrepreneurship. Because, okay, so we couldn't get jobs, right? And we couldn't get the right set of things we felt like we deserved. So we decided to create our own. And we decided to keep our heads under we decided to survive. But when we have things like card restrictions and startup limitations bordering into the existence of our businesses, sir, Mr. President, what are the steps you intend to take? First of all, tackling these policies that discourage startup creation and lucration in Nigeria, because that is the reason why a whole lot of youths are leaving. I myself, for the first time in my life, I started considering leaving because I'm like, almost this business will work like this. You know, you can't really even dream 5 years into the future, 10 years into the future. That's my question, sir.
Thank you very much, my sister. Let me tell you why I said I didn't say CBN is not a problem. I said the physical, you know, CBN is supposed to be driving the monetary policy. The physical space is the government. They're actually in charge. What CBN is doing now, which is why they're having to do what they're doing, is that it's like, you know, the way we are in Nigeria now, is that the physical space is weak. It's like when they remove the people who are supposed to be playing a particular wing, which is more important than everything, and then a situation where maybe in football, you've removed the people who are supposed to be first 11 and you just bring second place, that people running all over the place doing the work. CBN is a monetary space. It's not doing what the physical side is supposed to be doing. So they are not into farming, into manufacturing. Nobody actually knows who is doing what. And they're
Exactly.
trying to survive because they are not the right signals. What drives a nation is the physical space. Because that's where the elected president is. That's where the elected people are. They are the ones that will decide where they're going. While the monetary people are independent, if you look at here down, CBN is not only doing the monetary thing they're supposed to be doing.
Sure.
When they brought rice paddy in Abuja, there are some who said they remain grateful to the CBN governor. They didn't even mention Minister of Agriculture. They didn't even mention the Bank of Agriculture. CBN has nothing to do with the rice paddy. In the real sense of it. Thank you. But because those who are supposed to do it are not doing it, they now find themselves cultivating rice or supporting rice farmers. It's like now today they say NNPC is that constructing road. NNPC is a company owned by government who is supposed to generate revenue, give to government to be shared in the 3 tiers of government. So if they have tax, they are not, while Valentine and company can go to use go for tax this thing to use it to construct road, a company owned by government cannot go to the same thing and be given the same approval. They are not into road construction. So the whole thing is muddled up, and we're trying to fix it. What we want to do is to start doing the right thing. And that's what I said. If I'm here, people will stay in their wing, play their wing, be supervised to doing their wing. And if there's a problem, you deal with it. Because the country is going through too many problems and lack of clear leadership, people are doing what they're not supposed to do. So CBN is not the problem. People say, oh, Godwin is actually trying to help. But it happened because the people who are supposed to play other wings are empty. It's like they've given them, they've run out of, they're not no longer in the field. So it's one playing back, forward, goalkeeper, everything. It can work. You need to get people.
Excellency.
Yes.
Excellency. My producer is already saying to me that even if Mr. Peter Obi wants to stay, you are supposed to be a professional and let this man, allow this man to rest. He's been working all day.
With that mama question, said me, and they look for run away because before another one like that. another one like that. I feel like I will lose this job.
No, but we have directed them to send all the questions. Well, we're going to put your handle up again. So we've directed most of the questions that we have. We'll forward to your inbox or DM to look at. So
consider me for the one where I don't answer for this job. No, go bring another mama question. If you bring that other question,
no, mama. But the way you handled it, also I learned from it. What it means is that you understood the problem. I mean, a lot of Nigerians are not happy. Excellency, a lot of Nigerians are hungry. A lot of Nigerians are frustrated.
They have every reason to be.
They are frustrated. And sometimes we even extend the frustration to ourselves. And it's becoming an issue. Before we start killing each other over people that are stealing all the money and everything, we need to collectively decide and look clearly and more inwardly for the person that is going to take that seat. The person that is going to take that seat is very, very important to all of us. And
that's why I've insisted that everybody have to come and answer. Everybody should be interviewed for the job, not through via spokesperson. There's nobody who campaigns in the Western world through spokesperson. Every Nigerian knows Obama. Why do you know Obama's spokespeople? You know Biden's spokespeople?
No.
Have you ever seen anybody that say is Obama's spokesman or Obama's spokesman or Biden's spokesman? It's only in Nigeria that the person is campaigning, applying for a job, and is doing through via this thing. That's why I said that this year's election will be based on character we can trust. Everybody has to come to you, say his name, his age, schools he went to, possibly produce his certificate, call some classmates so we know exactly where the person is coming from.
That makes a lot of sense, Excellency.
But the character we can trust.
It makes a lot of sense. Now we're going to be rounding up, but I am very, very tempted because the Common Sense Sisters are here. They are a major part of the AY show from Canada. I want to quickly hear from the Common Sense Sisters. I'll be biased to get them on board because of who they are and the contribution that they have, brought to the AY show over the years. Our Common Sense Sisters, how are you?
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You amigo.
Brando.
My president, good evening. Good evening, Mr. Peter Obi. I'm not your sister, I'm your daughter. Please, I'm your daughter. Okay. The age difference is clear. My name is Ella. I'm one of the Common Sense Sisters, and my sister will join me shortly. And I'm just calling in to appreciate you. I'm not going to bombard you with questions tonight. And like AY said, we're rounding up to. I was at your town hall meeting in Toronto on August 28, 2022, this past summer, and you were gracious enough to wish me and my sister a happy birthday. So I want to thank you for rebranding Nigeria. I want to thank you for restoring hope in Nigeria. I want to thank you for showing us what leadership is and what leadership in service means to the everyday Nigerian. I love how realistic you are. My sister is joining me now. I love how realistic you are when you say that you will not be able to solve Nigeria's problem all overnight. And this is because everybody needs all hands on deck.
Everybody.
Part of the questions that this is my sister Yo-Yo.
Hi, Mr. President, incoming president.
Mr. President. Yeah, we call you Mr. President to the House. So we're all the way in Toronto here, so we won't have the opportunity of voting in the next elections because we don't have our PVCs, and also because the aspirants cannot vote from abroad, which we believe, and you have promised us in Toronto that once you get into office, you will be able to restore that hope for us in the diaspora. Yes, it will never happen again.
You must vote.
We must vote. We want to thank you because
Kenyans vote from abroad.
In your, yes,
we're giant of Africa.
Yes,
this giant must be giant, or it chooses a position.
Exactly. You make us proud to be Nigerians, and you make us happy to be able to hold our Nigerian passports. Whenever we go out and we say my country is running for an election, and a man that we're campaigning for rigorously is Mr. Peter Obi, we are able to show people, we're able to show them your track records, we're able to show them everything that you've done, all your universities, your education, as well as our incoming Vice President, Dati Yusuf Baba Ahmed. We want to thank you for restoring hope to the Nigerian youth. On October 20th, 2020, we lost hope in Nigeria because of the events of the EndSARS. But your emergence and your ability to listen to Nigerians and to listen to the youth most especially, even before some of our parents listen to us, is very, very, very much appreciated. We want to thank you for carrying yourself with grace throughout this campaign, with poise throughout this campaign, despite all the efforts to stain your white. Even though you wear black most of the time, you remain unstained. We want to also thank AY for bringing you to this platform. Yeah. It's very, very important. There is no leader on earth that has campaigned locally and internationally. You do it all with grace, and you behave as if you don't have any energy lost. But we know how time-consuming this is. We want to appreciate you for always having an open ear to listen to the questions and the plight of the people. For example, the mama that called today, she's an example of the plight of the Nigerian people, be it boy, girl, father, mother, children. You were patient, you laughed, you were eating your groundnuts. Even the curtain behind you is green, white, green, showing how much passion you have for Nigeria. We thank you so much, Mr. Peter Obi.
Common sense sisters, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my daughter.
Yes.
I'm very grateful, and I look forward to future interactions, because you know what I used to tell people: don't go away after the election. If I succeed, that is when the work has begun for everybody. AY, including you.
Exactly.
That's when we need to start talking to the president. We've abandoned people here who think that once somebody becomes a president, the job is there for him. That is when we need to start forgetting and say, Oga Peter, this is not what we promised you. So he said we'll go be on the right road. I think we're not in a don't turn around though. This motor not the go direction where you say go again. What is happening? If we can do this, we stay in check with our leaders. It will work. Anyway, thank you very much. You know, since you say your
so I was just coming to get your last words for the night. Even members of your team, I've been trying to. My phone is buzzing because they know you, that you have capacity to go on and on and on.
No, I see a lot of people. Capacity. I was wanting you to say you are now employed, so I can go home, but you refuse to say that. So I want to see whether we are still looking for more. But let me again say
the employment allowance comes on the 25th of February, where the confirmation will come with all the guarantees that you expect. And I am wishing you all the best personally. And last words for people watching all over the world right now is important, so that it will be documented that you came here, and will be able to say tomorrow that they also came, they saw, and you are conquering.
Well, thank you very much. For me, I've gone to campaign all over the states of Nigeria, not all over the states. I'm touring the states now. And what I tell them in every state, that this year's election should not be by ethnicity or tribe. No tribe, no ethnic group buys bread, rice, or food cheaper. None of them have security. Everywhere is insecure. Not everyone have uninterrupted electricity. I've even gone to a place like Oshobo, where our electricity is supposed to be the hub of our electricity. Oshobo is using generator everywhere. I was in Niger today, where we're supposed to have so many of our facilities. They are using power. So no ethnic group is spared. It shouldn't be by religion. I told them in Niger today, show me a mosque where they sell bread cheaper. Christians will go there and buy bread, come out and continue their worship. Show me where Christians buy bread cheaper. Muslims will come and buy. So it is not about religion, it's about tribe. I told the Emir of Mina. And even the Kali Church in Dubai was built by Emir of Dubai. And it's a Muslim. So it is time they stop this deception in Nigeria. Those who are stealing and ruining us use all these things to win the election. Unfortunately, those they ride on their back or use ethnic sentiment or religious sentiment to win immediately becomes their first victim, because today those who are suffering more are those who have supported them. It shouldn't be by my turn. It's nobody's turn. Nigeria is not a private company. It is the turn of Nigerians to take back their country. And they must look out for three things. One, we must look for a character we can trust. And the beginning of that character we can trust is that we must know the person's name and ensure that that is his name. We must know his age. There's nothing wrong even if he made a mistake where he made a mistake of saying I'm 30 when he's supposed to be maybe 31 or 32. That might be a mistake. But when he becomes 40, or 50, then it's not a mistake, it's a deliberate act. You know, if we must know schools he went to, secondary school with classmates, universities, certificates, and everywhere he has passed, and places he has worked. And we want people who have proven record of we worked here, we worked here, we worked here, and everything, and people can go there and verify. It must be based on competence. The person must be competent. Somebody who is qualified. We are tired of this allowing a conductor to be the driver when the drivers are conductors. No. We now want to employ the right person. It must be somebody who has the capacity to do the work, and he must have compassion. So he will know that when there's flooding, when people are living in IDP camp, that is supposed to visit them. As long as Nigerians remain in IDP camp, we're all in IDP camp. So the person must have compassion and be able to deal with issues and everything. And above all, this job requires physical and mental energy. It is not a retirement home. And it's not a place you can stay to give sign. You need 30 hours, 24 hours a day to deal with Nigerian issues today. And I believe, and I said to people, Nigeria is worse today than when it was when Obasanjo took over in 1999. I said with all of this thing. However, if he was able to do something, having come from the barracks, I believe I'll do better because I come from a background where I've created wealth. And I'm all for it. And I ask Nigerians, give Dati, Baba Ahmed, and P2B a chance. I'll build a new Nigeria. Thank you. Of course, you know where to vote. Mama, Papa, Pekin, who voted umbrella, he leaked. Who voted broom, they swept us away. Now we want to vote human being. And I'm sure it will work. God bless you.
Thank you very much, and God bless you real good. And as we're rounding up, I want you to know that Nigeria is indeed blessed with different talented human resources. Now, this is a young talent. We're rounding up with this. He made a painting of you. I don't know if you've seen it. We're going to quickly put up that painting and round up with it so that you get to see it on the show. And I believe my producer... Yes, so many. And those of you online that we couldn't bring in, please don't be upset with me. I mean, time is not our friend. As a matter of fact, you can't be upset with me. I'm not looking for the job. I am here to support the job seeker and to get to his destination and get the job done. So, which is for all of us as well. So, sorry, please pardon me. We can always do this again and again. Whatever questions you have, we are going to forward to His Excellency to look at his spare time. And according to Mama, let this not be another form of regret, of which a lot of Nigerians are praying. And so shall it be in Jesus' name. Amen. And Mata Amushe has said it all. We are very hopeful that a new Nigeria will come in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you. Nelson from Europe. Sorry we can't have you. CM from UK. Sorry we can't have you. And of course, I see who else do I have there? Adama Ogu. Sorry we can't have you come on. But thank you very much for joining us. We'll do this again and again and again until we get it right. God bless you real good. Do have a pleasant night rest. Good night, sir.
It's the AY Show.
I'm thinking where I carry first to Mama and Papa.